All right. Hi, NTA reps. I'm Britt Wegman, your service unit director and your chief negotiator. And we wanted to put together a video to help get you ready for ratification of the tentative agreements on salary increase and some other parts of your contract that we agreed to last week. And I'm here with your vice president, Chris Pagel. So we're going to try to make this quick so that you can walk through all the information. This last week, you should have gotten an email as a bargaining brief that has an important link for all the information you need. And I am going to put it in the chat. It's a tiny URL link to make it easy for you to find. And I am going to share my screen now so you can see where this link brings you. It brings you to this web page. And so first what I'm going to go through is the bargaining brief, which is the summary of everything that you would want and need to know for members when they ask you questions. Essentially, what we've agreed to is, oh, there's Hannah coming on. We've agreed to more money on the scale. And as you know, in the previous agreement, veterans were only going to get as little as $715. We were able to leverage the board to give us an additional $650,000 towards the salary increases. So this includes the teacher salary increase allocation that gives the big raises for our new teachers, but this is additional money on the scale. So you can let people know that NTA and your work, our union did this. We got more money. The new teachers are still going to see increases up to $5,242. So that's going to keep in their paychecks. And we were also able to maintain the integrity of the salary schedule. So we're not having over 400 teachers compressed onto one salary of $45,242. We're going to go over what that looks like. We did create some what we call banding. It's a little bit different, but it's what helped get us those increases then throughout the rest of the scale. So these bullet points here can kind of help you the major points. Salary compensation is increases anywhere from $1,522 up to $5,242. Now we know this is backwards. We would want equitable raises for all, but this is way better than what we were originally looking at. And you've got to remind people that this was the Florida legislature that put a bad law into place. All increases are going to be retroactive to July 1. We've also extended the COVID leave. That was the 10 days that you may need for quarantine. That's already been in place. We did a MOU on guidance counselor extended workday. And then the rest of these language items were already previously voted on. We just have to vote on them again. So we've got the teacher protection and authority, which is just clarifying progressive discipline. We also have some hiring language where employees must be notified by April 15th on the decision to renew or non-renew, which is important because if they go after that date and they didn't tell you, then your contract is renewed. And we can, that's an ability that we can grieve that process if it's violated. And then the last one is just extending full book contract into next year. I think it's important to note that voting is open to all NTA employees. You don't have to be a member of NTA to vote. It's secret ballot, and you as reps will be conducting that. And Chris will go over some of those directions in a minute. So let's go back to the folder. The folder also has all of the tentatively agreed to language. We've got the salary schedules, the increased language. We also have the additional, this is the extension of the contract, COVID leave, MOU, and I think some of the other language, the other contract languages here. So you're welcome to look at these. I'm not going to go through these because they've just got the scribbles and all that stuff. I think what's most important is the NTA contract for second ratification. And this is important because this is where everything's at and what the contract is going to look like once it's ratified. So you can see where there's red strike through and then red additions. So that's where you can see all the changes. So you'll have a hard copy in your packet and you can look at it here. So I'm going to scroll all the way down to, I believe it's on page 60, because that's where the salary increase information starts. And this is what people are going to want to look at. It's Appendix D. So the original Appendix D is all going to be crossed out. I can get there. And then we get into, where's it at? Here we go. All right. So this is the breakdown of the teacher salary increase allocation money, just as it was before. Everything is the same from before. The difference here starts on this second page, Appendix D2. This is where the TSIA language is all the same, how it's applied, how we get to the 45,242, the 1.575 increase, but that is without additional board contributions. And that's how we get the more money on the scale. Additionally, this talks about how the combination of the teacher salary increase allocation and the board contribution is attached as Appendix A within this appendix. These are all the terms of eligibility. They're all the same as they were prior. This is key. If you were terminated or you resigned prior to ratification, that's the vote, then those employees aren't eligible for this increase. So if somebody quit last week or they were terminated, they're not going to be eligible. We did get a really good thing out of this though, which I'm very happy about, which is this part about retirement. If someone has retired and they were a teacher this year, then they will be eligible to get this increase. The district will work to go back and get them. And there is this provision here that if it's allowed under the Florida retirement system, there was some concern that maybe there would be some issues with their FRS, but we've basically said if that's a problem, they're going to let us know. And if there are any unresolved discrepancies or any issues that we find, then they will come to us and we'll work on that together. So let's get into the scales. So these are the entry-level scales. And this is where I think some people get confused. They think, oh, I'm year 18. I should be at this salary. This is just the entry-level scale. So anyone who's an employee right now, this isn't necessarily going to apply to. New employees coming in who earn experience credit as a 196-day classroom teacher, this is what they would be looking at. So let's say I'm a teacher with 6 years of experience. This was the old salary, $41,500. I will now be making $45,722, and that's a $4,222 increase. So if you notice here too, there's these grayed in boxes, and you can see how within those bands, those salaries are all the same. So it does mean that if you're brand new or your first year, you have 1 year of experience, you'd be on the same salary. If you have 2, 3, 4, 5 years of experience, you're going to be on the same salary. But what that has done is actually given a little bit more hefty raises to all of these groups 1 through 18 or 1 through 17. But that is how we were able to get these higher raises throughout the rest of the scale. So these entry-level scales are for people coming in. So don't let that confuse some of our members or employees that are just looking at that. Some other things is just experience for incoming people, the advanced degree supplement. This and all this black language here is just it's just standard language about performance pay and that sort of thing. As you know, no performance pay this year. So we've got the instructional entry level for 206 day, instructional level for 216 day. So again, all these entry level scales, wherever it says instructional entry level, that's for people coming in. So just keep scrolling, or keep flipping. We get into psychologist entry level. The different days, 196, 216, that sort of thing. Now, on this here, D15, this is where you're going to want people to look at what they are currently making and what they will be making. So this is important. So this is for current instructional employees. If they are making, let's just choose one here, 42,700, they're now going to be making 46,022. And we'll go over how they can go and find their information, find what they're currently making. So this is where we're going to get into all of that. And you can see again the banding here, 40,000 to 45,242. Now all of these salaries, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're 40,300, 40,600, 40,900, 41,200, all those folks are going to be on the same salary, 45,422. So that's where we see we call it banding. This grayed in area down here, that's just, those are new. We had to add more to the top of the scale. This would be the 206-day instructional salary schedule. So if you're a 206-day employee, this is where you can go and find what you're going to be making. So these are the ones that employees who are currently in the district will want to look at. And that goes through all the different positions. Psychologist, salary schedule, all that. And then we get into the rest of the contract. I think all the way at the end is where we have all these other MOUs, if you're interested in looking at that. The cool thing though is that this is all available and found online through that link, which I put in the chat, so you can copy that. So this is all here for you to look at. Again, it's hard copy as well, but it's all here for you. I don't know. I know we only just have one rep on, so I don't know if you have any questions about the agreement. If not, that's okay. We're trying to just do this quick, so if reps weren't here, they can review this. We're going to record it and share it online. So I'm gonna, one thing I did want to show, I guess I forgot, is a different screen share. This is the directions for employees to find what they are making. And we're gonna put this into the link. It's not there right now, but it should be there. So if employee wants to find out, well, what do I make right now? This document has all the steps on how someone can go into Skyward and find their amount. I'm not gonna walk through it. It's not something that you, I think, should have to sit there and do for someone as a rep. They should be able to go do this themselves. And everyone should really be familiar with, how do I find out what I'm making? So this document will be in there as well. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing. And I think Chris is gonna go over the directions for ratification and kind of the expectations.
Okay, what I want to do is make sure that we have absolute maximum participation in our voting for ratification. So the actual ratification days are Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, which are the 9th and 10th of March. All reps should already have all the ratification materials. If not, contact us immediately. So that's when you're going to ratify. All of this information that Britt just went over is available to them to be looking at now. So it's really going to be up to the reps just to beat the bushes to make sure everybody votes. I would like to get as close to 100% turnout as possible. So what we've done as an incentive, anyone that has 90% of their teachers vote, their instructional staff vote, gets a $50 Target gift card. Target, it's French now.
That's awesome.
So your directions, they're all right there in the packet. Again, if you don't have them, it's going to be an in-person vote. I know the rep at my school, Hannah Gibson, she actually puts it in her classroom because she's the music teacher and everybody goes by her classroom. However you normally do an in-person vote, that's how you're going to do it. But remember, this is a secret ballot and it must be controlled at all times. I've already shared with you my expectations. 100%. I actually have put in for a union day on Tuesday, so I am available to go to different schools to assist. Melissa Stokes from Yulee Elementary is also doing the same thing, and Melissa Carr. I've known her for way too long. So that's what we're going to be doing. On top of all this, with the ratification, because of our success with this contract, even though it took an absolutely inordinate amount of time due to no fault of NTA, the district really hung us up, so it can't just all be COVID. We're going to use this as a membership drive. So reps, what I want you to do is have membership forms, blank membership forms, right there with the contract ratification materials. And anybody that comes in and signs that's not a member, you hand them a form. And you say, we put a lot of effort into getting this raise for you and these other items. You need to be a member. And you've just gotten a raise, so don't tell me it's a money issue. So be blunt about it, as I am. So that's really what we want. If we weren't out there doing what we did, they would be getting $0 right now. There's strength in numbers. They need to be members. And that's all I got, folks.
I think it's a huge organizing opportunity. I mean, it shows the strength of membership. And truly, it's not me, it's not Chris, it's not any one person on the bargaining team, or even any individual rep. It's all of you, like Hannah, for example, and other members who got up and spoke, who sent emails, who showed up at board meetings, our members who spoke to the news and the press and shared their information. That is what gave us leverage. And the expression of employees voting down the previous agreement really showed that was their voice expressing what they expected. And so without our union, there would not have been this extra money, like Chris said. So that is huge. I mean, it would have just been what they wanted to do. No one would have questioned it. No change. So it's huge. It's such an exciting, huge opportunity to show really what employees can do in their workplace. So that's pretty much it. I think we just wanted to make sure everyone had the information, and this is recorded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this behind a YouTube link, and I'm going to share it out to the reps. So that way it can be reviewed. You can look at it and share it. But I think the cool thing is everything is behind that tiny URL link. I'm going to put it back in the chat again. So there's really no excuse for someone to not know. And again, that was sent out by email from, I think, the NTA email address. If you need it, email us, let us know. It's cool because you can even text it, copy the link and text it to people, share it on Facebook chat. That's how I used to do it when I was a rep. I used the Facebook chat because people could opt out of group text. So that's pretty much it. We didn't want to keep you too long on a Friday, but thank you for all your hard work. I mean, none of this is possible without worksite reps who are on the ground every day, talking to members, talking to potential members. That's really what NTA is. All right.
Have a great weekend.
Happy weekend. Bye, Hannah. Thanks for joining us.